Hey everyone, so here we are with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead, the Seraphon box. So, apologies for the light. So, as we can see on the bottom of the box, so you get 14 miniatures in this Spearhead army box. Now, this one's been rebranded because the original one used to be called Vanguard. So, this is the updated boxing. I've been eyeing up the Seraphon box for a little bit because the Skaven type box has been built. I've yet to prime them and paint them, but I enjoyed doing them, so I thought, seeing as going to enjoy Age of Sigmar more than I do the 40k stuff, I would get my Spearhead armies, and that way then I could play the Fire and Jade Spearhead, because I have seen videos, I've watched it at my local hobby stores and that, and it's definitely a lot simpler to Warhammer's Combat Patrol. So, nothing really on the sides, it's just a shortened picture. So, let's try and get it in. So on the back of the box we have got Saurus Warriors, then we have our, sorry, let me just try and, that's better. So Saurus Warriors up there. Then we have our Croxagore, and it shows just 3 of these guys, but then you also got the optional assembly to pose them with as the Croxagore Warspawned. Sorry for the delay in talking. And then our final character, we have Saurus Allblood on a Carnosaur. Now, as you can see, this guy's got a few variants, and at the moment, from what I like on the box, don't get me wrong, Carnosaur looks very nice, but I am leaning towards this guy, the Skink Oracle on a Troglodon. I definitely do prefer the look of that. I am debating, once go through the instructions, having a look to see if there's a way of magnetizing the head part so I could have both versions, but looking at it now, there's like a dorsal fin on the Troglodon, whereas the Carnosaur doesn't. So I might have to look into buying the Carnosaur at some point on its own so that I could use both versions. Right, and with that, let's get into the box and see what we get. So, first thing we're greeted with is our instruction book. Then this is the Seraphon Spearhead, and showing us what all the models will look like from the artwork. We'll delve into that a little bit. So, we have the pack of 3 bigger bases. So these will be for the Croxigors. Then we have the smaller bases then, which are going to be for our, what was it again? What were they called? Saurus Warriors. So, first sprue we see, it's relating to the Troglodon Carnosaur. Plus 1 sprue of that at the moment. Very nice details. Come on, camera, focus. Are you going to allow me to focus? That's better. So yeah, so that looks like the Troglodon head, which I think I'm just going to go with that version and then buy a Carnosaur version another time further down, maybe the end of the year or something like that. Very nice details on the big guy. So then our next sprue. So this is part of the Troglodon's dorsal fin. Yeah, until I have a look in the instruction books, I'm not even going to debate. So, one of the weapon options for the Saurus. Yeah. More weapon options. Very nicely detailed, I will give that. I do quite like the Seraphon, to be fair. I like the dinosaur look of them and that. So, sprue the Croxigors. As you can see, there's one of the weapon option heads. So the Croxigor holding the 2-handed mace, another weapon variant as well, but there. The Croxigor's head, which is in 2 pieces, so the head just slot together, it looks like. So That's the Acroxagores. Another single sprue for the third and final Croxagore. And now our Saurus warriors. These have got very nice details as well. Do love the staff. I like how it looks like a dinosaur as well. I know there's probably a proper name for it, but I'm not sure myself. But as you can see, the one that's holding the staff, you can see how easy it is for the staff head to fix onto, to give you what looks like different variants. And then the final sprue. So there's more of the Saurus warriors. Very nicely done. Their shields. Their weapons. Very nice. I'm going to enjoy building these when I get around to them. And then your oval base then for the Carnosaur / Troglodon. So as you can see, this has been around for a while, this base, 2006, so at current time 19 years. Right, let's put all these back and we'll take a look at the instructions. Let's put these to the side now. So, usual jargon, read this first. Well, you'd expect to read it first because otherwise you're not going to know how to build them unless you've built them in the past. So, we have got the Carnosaur rests on a 120mm base. The Croxagores are on a 50mm base, and then the Saurus Warriors are on 32mm bases. Usual Games Workshop stuff, showing how when there's a build variant, how you stick to either the blue or the green. And the first thing you build are the Saurus Warriors, which makes sense, I see. So your interchangeable parts are the different heads that you can have so that your army doesn't all look the same. It shows also then to build a champion and your typical Saurus warrior. So pretty simple, nothing really complicated. This guy, then you've got the musician, or again the Saurus warrior, and then the one this, so you got your standard bearer. So on this, like it shows, you can either build it with or without the plumage to the head and the tongue showing. All pretty simple so far, and then your standard Saurus warrior builds. As it shows, you got 2 weapon options, and again 2 weapon options there, and then the same for all these guys as well. And again, it'll show you then what your build variants for one army should look like. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So you get 10 Saurus warriors. And then you got your build options then for your Croxigors. So you either got the blue ones here, which is the Croxigor, and then the green, which is your Croxigor Warspawned. And then at the bottom here you got, sorry about this. So then you got your 2 variants then showing the blue one for your Croxigors and then the green one for the Croxigor Warspawned. And then again, it shows for the Croxigor as well that you got a weapon variant as well. Well, actually, not weapon variant, a change of stance. So again, it's the option of, if you don't want your miniatures to all look the same, you've got a bit of variation to play with. And then again, it shows a bit of variation as well in the head. Which is nice little touches, because you don't exactly want your army to all look the same. So again, moving on to the Croxigors, and then obviously the alternative build depending on your weapon loadout that you want. And then finally you got the build bit for either the Skink Oracle on Troglodon, a Saurus Allblood on Carnosaur, and then the Saurus Scar Veteran on Carnosaur. So, like I said, I'm going to look at doing the Troglodon variant for mine, and then in the future look at buying a Carnosaur, just so I can say I can use the 2 variants in different instances, not in one instance. So For me, it's going to be the pink option, because that's the Troglodon. So, blue option, the Carnosaur, the green option is Saurus Scar Veteran on the Carnosaur. And then this is the version I'll be looking at, the Troglodon. And then finally it's showing you what the Troglodon can possibly look like once they're finished. And then you've got your weapon sheet here showing what the values are for each unit, and then obviously for the Troglodon I'm going to have to take note of this section, because this is the one that's going to tell me what its moves, hits and all that are like. So sum me up from there. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.